Parts of the Wasatch Front got a break from the snow earlier today. That break is over in central and southern Utah. It's on your way.
This year's been quite exciting.
Plus a winter budget buster. As the snow continues to pile up, so does the cost of removing it. We're live.
Mayor, you need to really take a look at how this has been handled and realize you have betrayed our community.
Then Sugar House residents rally over a new homeless shelter site as another city council member changes her mind.
Live from Fox 13 Studios, this is Fox 13 News at 9.
Snow continues to dump across parts of the state tonight, creating dangerous driving conditions as the snow gets packed into the roads. You're looking at a live look from one of our UDOT traffic cameras along I-15. This is in Clearfield.
Yeah, as bad as that looks right there, we're looking at it in Clearfield. We don't have a camera up near this in Box Elder County. It's up near mile marker 376. They've actually had to shut down I-15. There's a wreck up there. It involves 15 cars and a cattle truck. Apparently some of the cattle are now out on the road, so they're trying to clear that up. And this, of course, all probably due to the weather, which is just a mess out there.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. I mean, and of course we're starting to see the snow in portions of Salt Lake and Utah County and everything like that. But where you just mentioned, up near the Idaho border, we've had snow all day long, and it's been heavy snow. This right now is in Ogden, along the east bench of Ogden. And again, this is one of the locations that saw snow earlier in the day, and this is one of the locations we're seeing some of the heavier snow currently, as completely snow-packed roads right now throughout much of northern Utah. Here we go. So it's 27 degrees at the airport. Winds out of the northwest at 20 miles per hour. That's not helping either. And just a blanket of snow where just an hour ago you could see the road easily here near the airport. As you look at satellite and radar, all of the rain mixed with snow that we saw in Salt Lake and Utah County earlier, that's changing over to snow, although we are holding on to a bit of rain in Provo. Again, that's going to change. It's changing over to snow as well. And then just a solid line of blue, in some cases very dark blue. You can see up around Ogden, just all the way down through northern Utah. And this is being fed by a ton of moisture coming off the west coast. And this whole storm system will just continue moving into central and southern Utah. Winter storm warning throughout much of the state, mountains, valleys, I-15 corridor. A mess heading into tonight and tomorrow. We'll talk about the entire storm coming up.
Brett, thanks. We've shown you a few views already. Check this one out. Kind of a unique angle here that we're getting. This is from one of our photographers. This is live video. What we've done is we've mounted a camera in the back of his live truck. So it's shooting out the back while he's driving out the front. This is up in Davis County, and you can just see how much snow is out there on the roads. And certainly all of this snow is just going to cause more and more havoc on our roads.
It's also digging into snow removal budgets. Fox 13's Kirsten Nunez joins us live at the mouth of Parley's Canyon. Kirsten.
Yeah, this snow is just coming down here, and it seems like snow removal crews just can't catch a break. They started on Christmas, then New Year's, and just day after day, it seems like these storms just keep coming. And while this snow builds up, so do the costs to remove it. The state is plowing through its snow removal budget.
We're just at about 41% of our budget expended.
UDOT set aside $24 million for snow removal this season, which spans from October to April.
That involves all of the materials, the truck maintenance, and the personnel hours.
Well, take a look at this. We are only 4 days into January, but already the state is over budget for the month and above the average spending for the past 3 years. But don't worry, the plows won't stop working despite the costs.
We have a little bit of wiggle room in the budget. We do have the contingency built in just to make sure that we can keep things moving, even if we have a storm that might catch us off guard at the end of the season.
UDOT goes through a lot of salt during these winter months. Now, just this season, they've gone through 89,000 cubic yards of salt. That's enough to fill up 27 Olympic-sized swimming pools.
This year's been quite exciting, if you want to look at it that way.
The state isn't the only one feeling the weight of the snow. Even big cities like Salt Lake are already close to their budget.
It's been a very serious thing for us. We're keeping a very close eye on it. We want to use the money as frugally as possible, but safety overrides all of those.
Salt Lake crews have been finding a lot of ice too. Their salt budget is already nearly 80% used.
Our budget is in the $350,000 range, which should cover most of the average years. This year so far, being first week of January, has been anything but average.
Now for Salt Lake, if they do run out of their budget, they need to go to the city council to request more money. Now this is the same story that smaller cities are having as well. Now UDOT wants to remind people with this storm, the commute tomorrow probably isn't going to be that great. So if you can stay home, that's ideal. But next best thing is to delay your start time, even an hour or so if you can, to give a chance for snowplows to be out there and clear the roads. For now, we're live at Parley's Canyon. Kirsten Nunez, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Kirsten, thank you. Of course, we will have continuing coverage on this storm moving into the area throughout this broadcast and online at fox13now.com. Also weather-related, found frozen to a blanket on a windowsill in West Jordan. A kitten is now on his way to recovery. Someone brought in this little stray to the Humane Society of Utah last night. That kitten, probably only about 8 to 10 weeks old. She was in pretty rough shape when she arrived.
It was very skinny. It had gone without food for a while, frozen to the blanket. Its ears had a little frostbite on it. So it took some time for us to rewarm the animal.
She's warmed up now and apparently quite feisty and doing well. The Humane Society has named the little kitten Elsa after the character from the Disney movie Frozen. She's doing well, but it will take some time before she's up for adoption. They hope Elsa's story will remind people just because your pet has fur doesn't mean that they can tolerate our cold Utah nights.
Salt Lake City is preparing for 4 new homeless resource centers, but in every neighborhood where a center is supposed to go, people are in opposition.
Tonight, the city held 2 community meetings to address those concerns. Fox 13's Robert Boyd is live in Sugar House on Simpson Avenue. Robert.
Well, Hope and Matt, one of those new resource center locations will be right here behind me on Simpson Avenue. So the big question from residents tonight at both of these meetings will how the city keep the drugs and the crime and the unsightliness going on at Rio Grande from coming into neighborhoods like this. It was standing room only at community meetings in downtown Salt Lake City and Sugar House Wednesday night. Hundreds of residents expressing their concerns to Mayor Jackie Biskupski over 2 new homeless resource centers planned for their neighborhoods.
It's very frustrating. A lot of questions has been asked to her and she's not answering the questions.
Kurt Hamilton lives a block away from 131 East, 700 South, where one of the centers will be going.
After a year of buying a house and putting a lot of money into fixing it up, if that immediately, kind of goes down the toilet and I lose a lot of money on the house, that's a burden I don't want to bear.
The mayor said it's important to keep an open mind. Their goal is to squash what's currently happening on Rio Grande, not move it somewhere else.
The reality of it is you need to give me a chance. And I will also say to you, for 2 years we've been working on this in open public meetings.
But Sugar House residents living near the Simpson Avenue location say it's hard to be optimistic when it's your safety that's on the line.
We just are worried about the crime rate. We've had multiple cars broken into, and we just don't want to see that increase with the influx of homeless people in the area.
The mayor says each center will be staffed with adequate security, counseling, and resources.
The city raised their hand and said, we will be a part of the solution.
But others are convinced there are no solutions, only more problems.
The best practices have already been used to solve the problem, try to solve the problems. And they obviously haven't worked.
Now, if you didn't make it to any of tonight's meetings, you still have plenty of more opportunities to speak with the city and voice your questions and concerns. A couple more public workshops are scheduled later this month. For those dates and times, go to our website, fox13now.com. Live in Sugar House, Robert Boyd, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Today, another Salt Lake City councilwoman joined Erin Mendenhall, took back her approval of the Sugar House site. Lisa Adams says 61 people spoke at last night's city council meeting, and all but one opposed the Sugar House location.
Everyone else spoke against the Simpson site. That's my district.
If the Sugar House site is removed, it's not known if a new location will be substituted or the city will move forward with just 3 sites. Yeah, that breaking news is in North Salt Lake. Bountiful Dispatch confirms a front-runner train has hit a car at 8th North Main Street in North Salt Lake. Now, we've been emailing with a passenger stuck on that front-runner train. She is telling us she doesn't believe anybody's been hurt, but we don't have that confirmed. We have a crew headed to the scene. We'll get you more information as soon as we get it.
After spending more than 10 hours missing in the mountains last night, search and rescue crews found 2 Beaver Mountain Ski Resort employees. Luke Stevenson and Allison Hewish were found safe just before midnight in the backcountry near Peterson Hollow in the Franklin Basin. They had gone skiing but failed to show up for work. Neither of them ended up needing medical attention. The rescue, however, didn't finish until around 3:30 this morning.
New tonight, 40 troopers with the Utah Highway Patrol will help with security at President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration later this month. Sergeant Todd Royce with the Utah Highway Patrol says this is something the department has done just twice before. Royce says the troopers are not only selected for the work assignment, they also volunteer, but they don't know who they're volunteering for.
They're selected prior to the election, so they don't know who's going to win the election. They're just going to help keep the public safe there, to represent Utah, and to do a good job in protecting the public.
Now, Roy says the troopers will be working along the parade route. He also says Utah taxpayers don't foot the bill for the work trip. UHP submits a bill to D.C. Metro Police Department, which then reimburses us.
I wanna try everything. I wanna try even though I can fail.
Sound good, don't they? That's BYU's a cappella group, Vocal Point, singing at the inauguration of Utah Governor Gary Herbert. They weren't the only ones filling the Capitol Rotunda with music. The Mormon Tabernacle Choir performed one of its trademarks. This is Governor Gary Herbert's 3rd inauguration. Today, he talked about Utah as one of the best economies in the nation, saying the state's success is based on the goodness and pioneering spirit of Utahns, including brand new Utahns, like a refugee from the Sudan who was there.
Her pioneer journey has taken her from the refugee camps of the war-torn Sudan to marriage, to motherhood, to full-time employment at a Utah medical device company.
Former Governors John Huntsman Jr. and Mike Leavitt attended the ceremony.
A woman in Salt Lake heard something outside and went out to investigate.
It was around 5:15, 5:30. He called out from the parking lot next door in the back.
You won't believe what she found when she followed a man's cries for help.
The impact of Utah's inversion on pregnant women and their unborn babies, what some doctors are saying.
And the last remnant of a Utah mall closes its doors. Why the local mayor says it's a good thing.